Guys, welcome back to my YouTube series. It's Enrong here. We're back for episode 50, I believe now it is, of my Grand Prix World career. And the last episode, of course, brought back with the introduction, or reintroduction, of course, of my career with Stewart. We're in Season 4, it's 2001. We're going to get straight into the Australian Grand Prix and bring you guys the content that you enjoy seeing, of course. So let's get straight into it and let's have a look at a couple of things that we talked about in the last episode in detail, but we'll briefly kind of look through them again. These are our drivers, of course, for next season. Nakano, of course, will be hoping that he can put out some good wet weather performances. It's probably going to be Moira in the dry that's going to be doing most of the talking on track. So yeah, but let's have a look firstly at the test driver role. We need to see if we can get someone in. So I always try and cheekily try and get one of these guys in, and they never do. So we normally have to go for just one of the cheap guys on the back markers, of course, there. Or Muller, of course, looking for an interesting salary. We're going to go with this guy, Rainbow. It doesn't really matter who we pick, we just need to get someone in. And he said no. Weird. Normally they say yes. Ooh, this guy. Let's see what he says. Oh, the roles offers to Junior. Okay, well, look, we know for the future. We're going to try and get one of these guys in, though. It'll be quite important if we can. I'd like to... Yes, okay, cool. So let's get him started now. Marini, actually quite good. Speed and overtaking too, and for both of those, so not bad. And look, it's minor amount of money, $30,500 dollars. You know, it's like an average salary for one of us people. So yeah, nothing in the grand scheme of F1. We talked about in the last race the commercial guys. They don't really need anything there. As well as that, the staff is fine. 50 is the capacity at this moment in time. Design is also the same. We don't need anyone else there. We don't need anyone in engineering. However, we do need to sign a mechanic for next season. I'm going to be bold. We're going to go straight for Carl Gaden. I'm going to see if I can get him in. We're going to try and get him in for under $1 million. That'd be ideal. Yeah, let's see if this works. 2-year deal. We're not strong enough, he says, so that's a bit of a problem, a bit of a shame. We'll try and get Stapleton in, however. He's not a bad mechanic. I'd like to get him in and see if we can do some damage there with him. And yeah, that's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Alright, Cowlinshaw, he's kind of expensive for a 3-star guy. Starting to run out of options here. Look, we'll go with this out first, since he's cheaper, even though he's got a team. See what he says. Hopefully he'll come in and be like, yeah, no problem. And he has. Right, let's nail this guy. Let's get him done. Let's get it over and done with. We need to get that done. We don't want to be waiting around having a bad deal there. I brought in, as I said, of course, excellent and very good. For those of you guys who were paying attention and watching last season, I've always tried, once I build up a kind of a solid basis of staff, once we get to a solid number and we are financially stable and viable, then I start looking at excellent and very good only, if I can at all. I don't really care about the rest of them. Because they kind of sort themselves out over time. So yeah, that's important for us, and yeah, it's good for us as well to do that. Next up, of course, I need to do the driver orders, so we're gonna take these down a couple because we want our guys to finish the race, and this is very important for us. It's more important that our guys finish the race rather than anything else, because this is how the funding is determined in this game. So for now, they're equal drivers, of course. They now have their orders, and what we'll do is we'll also confirm the setup, but we will go testing, of course, because we want to know roughly where our car lies in the pecking order at this moment in time. And we'll also equip all of these bad boys. The driver aids, of course, but we're well behind on those, if I remember correctly, so we're going to have a quick look at that as well. And yes, I was right. I remember correctly that the harder tires are the better ones at the moment. So let's have a look at the driver aids, because this is what I want to kind of get into at this moment in time. And a lot of them are still on 1, right? Like, all we have on 2 are the Ferrari automatic gears and the McLaren traction control. Okay, now I'm going to have a look at this once again just to make sure. So we're looking at traction control and automatic gears. Okay, cool. So we're going to go back here and we're just going to have a look at this Ferrari, and we're going to just do this, right? We're going to see if we can get that Ferrari automatic gears off them. That'd be really handy for us. That'd be super important for us if we can get a level up on the rest of the competition other than Ferrari and, was it McLaren or Williams? Those two guys are the 2-star ones. And of course, other teams probably haven't gotten their driver aids approved, so we might still have a couple of disqualifications coming in. But it's important we do that now for the future. Now, the big thing is the sponsors. We're going to go straight into team. We're going to be looking at all these guys. Now, I saw blondes, and we're going to throw a good fat 15% on these. I'm going to throw 15% because we have a big base of sponsors to work with. I don't think we could fight for the 5-star ones right now, so we're just going to go with these ones, these 3. And if that doesn't work after this race, we'll go for Red Bull. Engine's important now for us. We need to be careful with this. I looked at the Ferrari engine. I don't think I was that impressed with its stats. Was I? Oh no, I actually was. Sorry, it was the Mercedes Rigidity. Yes, yeah. So I'm going to go for Ferrari. I'm going to try and get these guys signed, right? We're going to try another 15% for Ferrari. And the other engine I was really impressed by, was it the Peugeot? No, the Peugeot was quite down. I think it was actually Ford. Yeah, I think it was Ford. Not sure. Can we sign a work deal with them? Let's just have a quick check, guys. Ford have their work deal sorted for next season, so we can't. We can get the deal with Peugeot. Okay, look, we'll try Peugeot. It's not the ideal engine. It's not the engine I'm looking for, really. There, and of course we have the tire, and that's sorted. So that's what we're going to do for now. And since we have 30% left over, I'm going to throw that onto Red Bull. And we're also going to start with a 5-star cash sponsor. We're going to go hop straight into PlayStation. Why not? Everyone loves a good console. We'll go straight in there. We will look at hospitality in future races. The final thing we're going to look at, guys, before getting into our race and starting off a good season, I guess, is the engineering side of things. We're going to start off with our spares, of course. Let's get these done. And we can obviously repair the cars before the race starts now and still have a few percentage left over there, which is important for us. We'll be keeping an eye on the money amount as well, because that's going to be quite important. I'm not going to bother assisting with that kind of stuff. I don't care if they give out. My main role, as you guys know, is to make sure that we are viable going forward. So we're going to put 10% on that, 10% on that, and 20%. 20%? Yeah, 20% on this, I think it was, yeah. So this is what we're going to do. 40, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 40. And then we're going to do 20, 20, 60. That's what we do. And let's have a look at what we get at here. So good, right. Let's discover our chassis. It should be quite good, 51%. Yeah, so it's not too bad. So this is what we're looking at for this season. So we should be around 4th to 6th place in the pecking order once again, all things going well. That's where we want to stay, so we can get that team sponsor in. So then we can build on that by bringing in, say, one driver that's not a pay driver in future seasons, but also make sure that our company, the Grand Prix team, is more viable in terms of the headquarters, the staff. Once you have everything in place, it kind of all just kind of snowballs, and we kind of become unstoppable. So we need to build towards that. For now, however, the only thing we need to do is the throttle. I want to upgrade this. I remember looking at this and saying, yes, we need to get this done. So I'm going to put 35% on this, and I'm going to put the other 15% on our driving aids for now. Other than that, we're going to reduce the wear on these bad boys because I want to finish the first race. And although, yes, that is 2 gone there, we have 2 of these left over. You could say I could build another car for this season. I guess I could, actually. Well, I don't know if we're going to be doing much testing yet, so there's no point. So let's just build the driving aids. Get it done. And, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's spend our car setup points for now. We're going to go with speed, I think, for Meccano. For Moira, I think we're going to go with heat and wind. Don't ask me why. I just feel like it. I always felt like I always got good results when I spent a lot of the point on wind, actually, more than anything. So yeah, it's important for us now to see where we are. So let's just make sure we get a quick save in case anything messes up. Let's get straight into qualifying. And whoa, okay, he's signed until 2006. Well, look, he's here for most of the rest of his career. Yeah, let's get into the 2001 Australian Grand Prix. Let's see where we are in the pecking order. This is going to be an interesting season, I think, and I think we're going to be fighting for 4th to 6th place again, roughly in and around that. Hopefully, however, we can exceed our own expectations. Right, here we go. Australia. I don't think we've forgotten anything. Let me just think in my mind, what have we done? We brought in a test driver, which is what we needed to do. We have also brought in a mechanic for next season, the 3-star one. We delegated all our commercial guys to signing team sponsors and 1 cash sponsor and 2 engine guys. And we also did testing. We have driving aids. We've developed the chassis, so we know exactly what the handling model is. So yeah, I think we're all good to go. We're not going to invest in anything yet. We're not going to look at our headquarters, anything like that. I want to see roughly how much this race is going to cost, and we'll make an educated guess and decision from there as to how the season is going to go. So let's get in now. So this is the list of drivers, of course. McLaren, 1 and 2 are Schumacher and Irvine. Frentzen, 3 and 4 with Tuero. Rosset, 5 and 6 with Villeneuve. Hill, 7 and 8. 9 and 10 for Alesi and Herbert. 11 and 12 for Barrichello. 14, 15 for Coulthard and Takagi. And for some reason, we're always 2021, even though we finished 5th last year. I have no idea why that's the case. All the rest of these are sorted perfectly, and then we're here. So I'm not sure if that's a human thing. So once you pick a human team, you keep those numbers or however it works. But anyway, this is the grid, of course. The other team we wanted to look out for was Arrows. Yes, Montoya and Trulli. They're decent drivers. They're better than our drivers anyway, that's for sure, in the dry. So they will be a threat if they can build a good car either this season or next season. They're definitely going to have it next season though, because they have the guy now. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at qualifying. And it's very dry and the wind speed is high, so that should suit. I think it is Moira who had that. Let's get in now to see what Celso can do, and also Nakano as well. Okay, so we're where we were last season. Frentzen takes pole from Michael Schumacher, so it looks like it's going to be a battle between those two guys again, but Irvine is right up there as well. And of course Villeneuve and Rosset. Tuero is nowhere to be seen. So Ross and Tuero out of it, of course, kind of there. There's almost a full second back to Fisichella and Hill, and then we're half a second back, and we're kind of in no man's land, so that's a little bit of a worry for us, that we're a bit behind Benetton. But that could be drivers. It's not a complete disaster. We're not really sure where we stand at the moment. Those Goodyears, although they are worse tire in the dry. So yeah, we'll see where we go. Saubers are line of start behind us, and then the Arrows as well, so they don't have the cars this season, but looks of it, where they're in the mid, so they're second off, and then they're like 2 seconds, they're another second, kind of, well, second and a half off for the Arrows. So yeah, it looks like we're kind of safe for the most part now. I'd say in 5th place. Sauber, Hakkinen may occasionally put in a stunner, but yeah, Barrichello gone to Minardi. I don't think he'll be too happy with his own move there, and then is of course in the Sauber. I won't be too disappointed. He's a perennial back marker, midfielder at best anyway, there as well. The Tyrrells round out the back row of the grid. The Jordans are not competitive at the moment. Expect him to be competitive next season, at least with the car. So very dry and average wind speed. I'm going to go with a one stopper for Nakano because he's the slower driver, so that's what we're going to try and do here. Yeah, with Moira, of course, we're just going to knock a few of these down, see how we do. Hopefully we can nag a point. If not, like, hopefully we can just finish, I guess. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Alright guys, let's go. First race of 2001. Let's see how we do. Okay, good start to the season for us. We've scored a point. Yes, so too Ferrari, so too Williams, so too McLaren, so too Benetton. But we've already secured a points playing finish this season, which is ahead of Sauber, Prost, Jordan, Tyrrell. You know, and you can see the second Sauber there. So Deniz actually almost scores a point, but we managed to get it in the end. An engine failure from Moira, so that's not great. So maybe better off we probably didn't look at Ford. But we'll have a look at the driver orders, and we'll do that. As you can see, Frentzen now wins that race. Of course, he won it from Rosset. Villeneuve, Schumacher, Fisichella, and Nakano. I'll have a look at that in more detail there. That's the constructors as well. Williams and Ferrari are tied up on 10 points. McLaren 3, Benetton 2, and Stewart are on 1. Let's have a quick look again at the results of the race so we can have a proper in-depth look at it. 20 seconds between Frentzen and Rosset. Rosset actually finished ahead of Villeneuve again. Villeneuve was kind of, sorry, not again, a bit surprising more so that Villeneuve couldn't actually get ahead of Rosset. Schumacher all the way down in 4th, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Might see that in the news for the next race, of course. Irvine with driver error, he's kind of the big one there of note. Hill actually with a hydraulics failure, and also the Ferrari of Tuero with a driver error as well. We're 9th and 10th in race pace, as you can see. We are in no man's land, kind of, but we're closer to Benetton, it seems, than what Sauber are closer to us, or, you know, closer to us in that respect. So it looks good, I have to say, in terms of where we are. We're currently 8th in the funding, which isn't great, but that should improve. It's based off of finishes, of course, at the start, and it gets more and more, and finishing starts to become more and more predictable, so we should be okay there. But yeah, that's interesting, and it's been a good start to the season for us. Before we do the next race, I'm going to take down the top speed for both drivers, because I do not want that engine blowing up next race. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you Next episode probably be out Wednesday. I'll probably either record it on Wednesday or I'll record it tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. I originally said my first video, I believe, which I have also recorded today, that I would send out another 2 episodes tomorrow, but it's actually going to be 1 because tomorrow is actually a really busy day. I thought about it and I just don't want to be under pressure to do anything. So we'll release this one tomorrow on Tuesday, and we'll be back then on Wednesday recording another couple. Thanks very much. Have a nice day.